SQL and PLPG SQL. So here we will learn about the database triggers. So first point is key points. Here we will learn about the three most important key points. So first we will learn about the definition of the triggers. Second is the type of triggers and use of triggers. Third one is a syntax of the triggers. So we are going to learn about the definition of the database triggers. So what is the definition of the database triggers? Don't get confused. Database trigger, it's one database object and it is automatically executed, it is automatically invoked when we will perform any insert, update or delete operations on a table or views. So this is the basic definition of the database triggers. So we will go forward and to learn the different things. A trigger that is marked for each row is called once for every row that is operations modifies. In contrast, a trigger that is marked for each statement only executes for any given operation regardless of how many rows it modifies. So there are two types of database triggers, that is row level trigger and statement level trigger. For row level trigger we will use the for each row command, and for statement level we will use the for each statement command. We'll go forward. Both the when clause and the trigger actions may access elements of the row being inserted, deleted, or updated using references of the from new dot column and old dot column. So here is one question: what is new dot column and old dot columns? So here we will learn old and new. These are pseudo records we will use to access the row level data of that particular table when we will fire any particular trigger. So here is one basic concept. So suppose we are writing one trigger on a table. Suppose we have one database tree table and we are writing one trigger on that table. So before writing a trigger, we need to write one trigger function in a PostgreSQL. After that we can write one trigger, we can fire that trigger function in that trigger. So this is the basic concept of the writing a trigger in a PostgreSQL database. Then we will learn about the types of triggers. So there are two types of triggers: row level trigger and statement level trigger. Mostly in product based companies and project based companies we use the row level triggers instead of writing statement level triggers. As per requirement we can write row level and statement level triggers, but mostly we use row level triggers. So we will learn the basic concept of the row level trigger. So this is the definition and concept of the row level trigger. Row level trigger executes only once for each and every row in the transaction, specifically used for data auditing purposes. We use the for the data backup purposes we use the row level trigger. So for each row this command we use while writing row level trigger. So here we will use here we will see the one example. If 1005 500 rows are to be inserted in a table, the row level trigger would executes 1500 times. Means for 1500 rows trigger will be executed 1500 times. So this is the basic concept of the row level trigger. Here we will next is statement level trigger. So here we will see the definition again. Statement level trigger executes only once for each single transaction. This will not be executed for each and every row. This will be executed for statement level trigger. That's why the naming is of the trigger is statement, and here you can see the row. Means for each and every row this will be executed, and statement is for each statement level trigger will be executed. So you can easily identify the difference between the row level and statement level trigger. So the transaction performed on the table for each row clauses omitted in create trigger command. So this is the basic. Here we will see the example. If 1500 rows are to be inserted into a table, the statement level trigger would executes only once. So this you can get the idea from this statement. So here we can see one table. So there are four columns. When means when we are writing that trigger. Event, on which event we are writing trigger. Row level, is that row level or statement level, and again statement level or row level. So first we will see before event is insert, update, delete. We can write on tables in row level, tables and views in statement level. Truncate, before truncate we can't write on row level, we can write on statement level tables. So second one is when. After event is insert, update and delete, then row level on tables, statement level tables and views. Truncate, same, we can't write on row level, we can use statement level. So we will see the instead of insert, update and delete, we can use on views, not on statement level. We can't use here, we use only row level, that is view. Instead of, we use basically for the views. Same for the truncate also. So this is the basic concept of this table. This is more important to learn the basic concept of the database triggers. So we are going to discuss about the basic syntax of the database trigger. Trigger, create trigger, trigger name. Before, here we have to write one event before or after. Update, this is the operation of column name, that is the column name of the table on table name, and here we will write the trigger logic goes here. Then we will see the next command, drop trigger, trigger name. Suppose we need to drop some triggers from the database, then we can use this command. Then there is another requirement. Suppose you are fetching some all the triggers from the database, then we can fire this command. By using this command, you can fire the, you can select the all triggers from the database. So this was the basic concept of the database. And thanks for watching this channel. Please comment and like to this video.